Welcome to BCB Live. Yes, we are that safest station in the nation. Welcome to BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation. Drive safe, Dave. Sir Rick, you know, drive safe, Dave. A little early for the shirt is all I got to say.
It's
not school season right now.
Be forewarned. School's starting up soon. I don't know your school district that you live in, but the one that I live in, they start this week.
Do they really?
Yes, they do. They start.
Fake news. There's no doubt about it.
Private schools are coming up this week. I know for a fact.
I got news for you. Most private schools don't take buses, and they just drop them off in the front. Drive safe. You know it of all people because you grew up in the private school network, being fed from that golden spoon.
This is a walking
the golden spoon.
This isn't a bus stop sign.
Hey, drive safe. I will tell you what a couple things, and we'll jump into first. Yellow does bankruptcy.
Did you see the report that the CEO listed out when they said, hey, he did a long speech and he said, hey, yeah, it's a sad day for closing. We are filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy and everything, and I blame the union.
And the union blamed them, and all that does to show you, drive safe, Dave. If you're not working together on something, you're never gonna make it happen, right? It does take the efforts of all of us to make things happen. Hey, drive safe. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hop into a quick video. And it's all about awareness because this week here, it's Sturgis week. A lot of motorcycles on that roadway right now. And drive safe, I want you to check this out for a second. It's an awareness test.
This is an awareness test.
And drive safe, just so you know.
How many passes does the team in white make?
Go!
The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
13 passes from the guys in white. Did you see the moonwalking bear? There it is, right? I know, right? Me neither. Matter of fact, but like, there's no way. I even watched it from the beginning again. There's a moonwalking bear in there. Drive safe, Dave. Awareness is something you've got to do. And as you drive through right now, going anywhere close or even headed up there, it's Sturgis week up in South Dakota.
Yeah.
There you go. They're headed up that way.
And you know what? Look, there's going to be tens of thousands of people out there on motorcycles. We get out there on the road. We definitely don't watch for them very often. We don't think that they're going to be coming around the corner. We don't think that they're going to be over there and they're hidden. They're not able. You got to watch out a little bit more. You got to pay attention a little bit more. And they have every right to be on the road as anyone else.
Absolutely. Hey, Dave, we're getting ready to go to a quick break. But before we do that, I want you to think about that video you just saw of the moonwalking bear in there, right? Because sometimes you're so focused on what you're looking at, you're missing some of the things that are going on. Dave, you're getting ready to do an interview with Natalie with A21, and it's kind of the same thing. Sometimes we're out there on the roadway, we're at the truck stops, and we're just so used to seeing people walking in and walking out, fixing trucks, fixing equipment. And Dave, we take our eyes maybe off of what else could be happening out there. Human trafficking, it's real.
Yes.
Dave, we're going to talk a little bit about that coming up next. This is BCB Live.
The safest station in the nation.
All right, hey, check it out. Here we are live right here in Mansfield, Texas, our BCB Live studio. What I really love about this place right now are the endless opportunities, the endless ways that you can use this studio. Hey, welcome back to the 2023 Pickle Parade. BCB Live, we started out really focused on that transportation, that trucking only. You know, talking about safety, making sure that we're giving that story about safety. We have the ability to do interviews, social media content, sales opportunities. What are you showcasing? What are you doing today that you've got to get that out?
In shedding light.
Thank you so much. Loved having you on here. Woo! Great job, Clara. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, we are back here on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive Safe Day, getting the opportunity to talk to Natalie. Natalie, we're here to talk a little bit about human trafficking. First of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about your organization and who you are?
Yeah, well, my name's Natalie. I'm so happy to be here with you all today. Such a fun atmosphere. I love this. A21 is a global counter-trafficking, human trafficking organization. And so our mission is really to see the end of human trafficking everywhere.
Well, you have a job out for you if you're going to do that, because it's everywhere. It happens all the time. And unfortunately, it's all around us, and it doesn't matter where you are or what you do, right? It's in the suburbs, it's in the cities, it's in the urban areas, it's everywhere.
Yes.
And we just fail to see it, right?
For sure, definitely. That's the biggest thing is awareness. Awareness and education is really such a huge aspect of all of this, is being able to go out, educate the community, bring more awareness, talk about what indicators to look out for. Those are all very key in continuing to expand our reach.
Yeah, I think that's very important. And I think it was really cool when Rick showed the video. And I came up with another analogy earlier. You know, every day I wear a different sign, a street sign. And a lot of the times people walk up and they go, I don't know that sign. And I'm like, oh no, it's out there every day. You've seen it a million times. But because you don't know what it is,
yeah,
you don't see it. And I think that's exactly what we're talking about here. When you don't know what to look for and you don't see it, or you don't want to see it, right? I mean,
right.
And I think that's really what your organization is trying to do, is trying to get past that inability to see what's going on out there, because we're the only ones that are going to be able to affect change.
For sure. Yeah, we want people to feel comfortable, to know, like, if you see something, you know what to do after that. You have to say something. And so that's a lot of what we do, is we communicate what is human trafficking, right? What is even just the basic definition? It's the illegal trade of human beings, right? And so people recruit and control for the use of somebody's body, whether it's labor or sex, and they do this by force, fraud, and coercion. And so it's important for people to understand even like what human trafficking is. And like you said, like, it looks a lot of different ways. It doesn't matter if you live in the pretty gated community or you're in more of like the inner city. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic background, demographics, any of that. Because we are all vulnerable at the end of the day. And so part of our REACH plan is to decrease vulnerability.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I you know, when I took a TAT certification, when I took a Truckers Against Trafficking, and got to understand a little bit more about what it was, I think it really opened my eyes that it was not just, you know, young girls being sold for sex. It can be in the farming community. It can be people out there working because they have no other means. They're just being trafficked, right? They're just being sold like meat. They're like products. They're not even humans, and they're not even treated as such. How much do you feel that we need to do? Because we saw stuff on the Super Bowl for the first time. Our football is getting involved with it. Did you see that? It's getting involved, which I think is huge. How much awareness do you think our youth needs to have? Because I think really, if we're going to solve this generationally, we need to start young so that it spreads quickly, right?
For sure. Oh, definitely. Prevention is really key in the school districts. And so that is something that our organization is working alongside school districts to implement a K-12 curriculum. And it's actually launching this school year.
Wow.
So it's a curriculum that we wrote. There's 4 lessons for each grade, all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade. And so you're introducing the idea of safe, unsafe relationships, safe, unsafe touch, these types of boundaries that, you know, a lot of times we forget that we have to communicate and talk to our kids about these things. And the coolest thing about the prevention aspect in general is that we're giving people the language. We're giving kids the language to even potentially self-identify, which we have seen multiple cases just in our piloting process of this K-12 curriculum. So it's been really cool when you give them the language, what they do with it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it takes the young people to go back and teach the older people. You know, like when my daughter would come over and then teach me about stuff, because there's things that you have to teach your children, but they pretty much can teach you other things that's going on in society, and especially new and important lessons, right?
For sure.
I mean, let me ask you, how many people are involved in your organization right now? I would like to know what scope that your organization has right now.
So as far as team is concerned, we are in 14 countries. We have 19 different locations, but we have a rather small team when you think about the scope, right? It's only 190 people on team. And so partnerships is so key to us. Partnerships with you guys, partnerships with different organizations, and people in each country look different. So we partner with law enforcement, we partner with city and government officials to come alongside and figure out what are the needs in that specific location, because again, every country looks different, and see how we can meet those needs in that specific country.
Do some of your partnerships that you have currently right now, are they on this side of the Atlantic? Are they across the seas? I mean, how are we looking as far as what kind of countries are being involved in this with you?
Yeah, so in regards to a lot of our key partners, they are based out of the US. And so that's really great because the US is a little bit different, right? Our vulnerabilities look very different. They can be a little bit more hidden. Whenever you're talking about going to a third world country,
correct,
you can quickly identify what their vulnerabilities are, right? Lack of food, maybe lack of housing, things like that. It's a little bit more hidden in America, and so there's the same vulnerabilities, right? We still have a huge foster child population. We still have people that are insecure or maybe one-parent households, right? But it's just not as visible on a larger scope. And so a lot of our partners, they really are spread out. We're represented in South Africa, we're represented in Australia, in Greece. Greece is actually where we started, where this all began.
Wow.
15 years ago. We're celebrating our 15th year anniversary this year.
So it originated in, this isn't an American founded, this was actually started in Greece. And how did it spread here? I'm just curious.
It spreaded just based on connecting with people and communicating, hey, us just figuring out what are the needs in regards to human trafficking? How can we come alongside and help this fight and join the fight? And so it kind of progressively came to America. In each country, it's been organic. It's not like we have, this
recruiters out there.
Yeah, it's not like you're like, okay, we're going to go to Bulgaria this year. No, it's been by organic relationships that have been built by people hearing about us in different countries and saying, hey, we want to bring that here. We just launched our Can You See Me campaign, which is a global awareness campaign. There's billboards in airports, on the side of trucks, on the side of highways, and so it really is just visibility. And so we have these scenarios that we put out, and just to be able to educate.
Very real world scenarios.
Very real world things that all of the scenarios came from a story that we've encountered in the work that we do.
Absolutely.
And so it's all based on true stories.
So the big question is, how can how can you, how can any of us, not only, how can we get involved? How can we be a better part or a better partner with your organization? Because that's really ultimately what you want, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is a big job, right? In human trafficking across the world, every year generates over $150 billion. This is the fastest growing organized crime in the world.
Right.
And so, so it is really important for people like you, people that are in the transportation business, to come alongside, to know what indicators to look out for specifically to what they're probably going to see.
Right.
The unique opportunity that truck drivers have is that you typically see the things that the majority doesn't see. Right. You're in the warehouses, you're at the loading docks, you're seeing what's being transported in trucks, in truck stops,
absolutely.
Right?
On the streets, they're in the streets every day, and that's where it's at. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's where it not that it's not everywhere else, but it's there and it's visible.
Right.
So we have to know what to look for, we have to know what to see, and we have to be a better partner in trying to make it happen. Where do we go, and how do we get involved in your organization? organization at all.
Yeah.
Tell us that.
Yeah, so you can go to a21.org and you can visit our website there. We have an education page that has tons of amazing free resources. So if you're a parent and you need to understand human trafficking a little bit better and maybe how to talk to your kids about it, we have a guide for that. We have a resource for that. We have resources for educators. We have resources just to be able to better understand what the indicators are, what to look out for. And so you can always go to a21.org and then definitely check out our education page. There's tons of resources there that can help you just be able to understand the signs of it.
Yeah, I tell you what, we need to generate a conversation.
Yes.
We need to have that conversation. And
Yeah.
sometimes those conversations are difficult at home. Sometimes those conversations are difficult, but they need to be spoken. And if you have an opportunity to educate someone else that doesn't know anything about it or hasn't gotten involved, take the opportunity to get onto the webpage, look at some of the resources they have, and share the information, right? That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create a little bit more knowledge on human trafficking. It is a big problem in this country, and it has to be stopped. Natalie, we want to thank you for jumping in here. We want to thank you for coming on BCB Live. Please come back and let us know more. Please come back and let us know more about what's going on, anything that you've got coming up. Let us know, and we will get the word out the best we can.
Thank you so much for having me. I will definitely come back anytime.
All right, thank you. All right, this is Drive Safe Dave on with Natalie Salinas here on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We're going to go to your local programming right after this.